What's good? Live mixtapes. We just jumped off the porch with Dirty Glove Bastards.
New DRs on my feet. Could've paid the rent, but I was spending on these sneaks. I've been tripping, taking flights. Niggas tripping on.
All right, so we got some day one DGB family members sitting on the porch with us today. Pesh and Brian of Live Mixtapes.
What's going on, bro?
Man, welcome, guys.
How are you?
Yes, I'm feeling great, man. So how are you guys feeling today, man?
I'm blessed, thankful, man.
Yeah.
Blessed and thankful. I can't complain.
Nah, for real, man. So, you know, we've been teasing this May 1st thing. We're going to get to all that in a minute. But, you know, first we got to get the story of Live Mixtapes, man. So talk about where the idea came from, who was the original members of it. You know, give us the breakdown, the backstory on this.
Brian, I'm going to take this. So, yeah, it started 2006. Daniel, we're a team of 5, first off. So Daniel's the president and founder of Live Mixtapes. He thought of the idea. We have one of my partners, DJ Joey Fingers. Mm-hmm. He's DJing. Dan is right now living in California for some reasons I won't talk about. But he's out there. He's obsessed with mixtapes. We're dropping mixtapes in the streets, right? Like feeding the gas stations, doing all that stuff. So Dan goes out to California, wants these mixtapes. He can't get them. So he builds something on the back end and was like, Joey, you can upload them. Let me get your mixtapes this way. And so then Joey started uploading it. And during that time, Joey was actually DJing. He was a DJ on air. He was on Rap City in the Basement and stuff like that. But he was Ray Cash's DJ from Cleveland, Ohio.
Yep.
And so when he was DJing for Ray Cash, Joey was moving around on tour with Ray and then started talking to other DJs, letting them know about the platform on the back end. And then boom, that was the initial start in 2006 of Live Mixtapes.
Oh, wow. So it wasn't even like something for the public. It just started out just for...
Yeah, I mean, it was just more of like a catalog. Like it first started initially for, you know, to access this music. And then Dan was just like, this can be bigger. He just started cataloging the mixtapes that were out, just uploading them. And then from there it grew, right?
Yeah.
But the initial birth of it, I think, was let me get access to Joey's mixtapes in the streets.
Okay. So 2006,
Yeah.
mixtapes are a big thing, but not really online at this moment, right?
Right, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
So kind of just talk about like the vision that you guys had at this time for it.
So, well, to be, first and foremost, I wasn't around at this time, but I was Dan's partner in the aspect of Dan and I, we all knew each other, right? So myself, Brian, we all grew up together. We all know what was going on. So I was right next to Dan when he's launching this platform. And to be honest, I didn't know how big it was because I'm still in Cleveland, right? So I'm not moving around with Joey. I don't know the aspect of who's picking up on it or whatever. I'm in Columbus and an artist comes up to me and is like, you know Live Mixtapes? I'm trying to get on Live Mixtapes. And I'm like, how do you know about Live Mixtapes? I'm calling Dan up, like letting him know about it, right? So I think that's how the growth of it began. And for us, Dan just, got the platform going just from the jump from, working on it on the back end. I forgot the question though. So.
So you mentioned there's 5 people. So what's all of you guys' roles?
Yeah, okay, perfect. So we're all partners at Live Mixtapes. And we all wear a bunch of hats. Really, you're gonna hear from me the most, probably. But everybody's got their own roles. Brian, any artist that's coming out, he knows about them. A&Rs, it doesn't matter who it is, Brian's probably gonna be the best A&R out here in the game. And a lot of the artists that are on Live Mixtapes, their property, or not property, but I guess came from, or was identified from Brian, right?
Yeah.
Thomas, he's on the back end. Thomas and Daniel, they're on the back end. Like I said, Daniel's the founder. And then Joey, so us 5. But we all wear a lot of hats, so it's intertwined. Okay. But we're all just communicating.
Yeah. So who were some of the first DJs or the first artists to really support the site then?
Wow, well, you got Scream, you got Bigger Rankin, you Cannon, Drama. You have all these big DJs, Trapaholics, a big brand, Hoodrich, was an important role as far as what we had going on. Also you guys, Dirty Glove Bastards. I think, Live Mixtapes has a big movement, and I think a lot of it comes from the community that was built. And it wasn't just us, right? So just us being a platform, but I think you guys having your hand in it, in tune with the streets, Hoodrich, from production to DJs to artists to management, they knew what was going on. They brought organization to Atlanta as far as the music scene goes. So I think like the DJs definitely make live mixtapes. There is no live mixtapes if there's no DJs.
Yeah. So were you guys actively reaching out to the DJs to build this relationship? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it was best of both worlds, like I said. So when Joey first was, moving around, then he's talking to other DJs, right? Now other DJs are like, hey, I want to get on this platform. Then they're somehow communicating with Daniel and Thomas. You can never see them though, right? So you never picked up the phone and called them. It was straight email. Dan would respond. Dan has thousands of emails coming along. And that was one of the reasons why Dan brought me in.
Okay.
Was just because you fast forward around 2012, it became what it was. And he was just like, I need help. I can't do this. And we got to be seen. And I don't want to be seen, right? Like, not in the aspect of I don't want to be seen, but he's just, he's an introvert. He doesn't want to, be out there. And Thomas is the same way. Same thing with Joey and same thing with Brian. So
yeah, you were always like the spokesman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we were going to run into Pesh everywhere.
I'm the Indian Don King, man. You know what I mean? I got something to say. You're going to hear it.
And you guys were always like ahead of the curve with the technology, because I remember for a blog spot that we were running, I thought it was really cool that we could embed the Live Mixtapes player right onto the Dirty Glove website. That way we didn't have to just link to it and, have basically our visitors go to your site. They could stay on our site, keep scrolling while they actually stream the site too, or stream the tape.
Yeah, that's all Daniel. So Daniel built the platform. So a lot of people, they're building their business and they have a great idea. Dan is the IT on the back end that built this. What we have coming out in May 1st, built that. Everything from ground up, it's all Daniel as far as the development, the vision of it, as far as the back end. I don't know what that's called, but the programming, coding. Yeah. I'm Indian, but I'm not IT.
So talk about these countdowns. Do you remember which was the first tape that actually had a countdown on the site?
Yeah, it's 2009. It was Techniques. Was it LeBron Flocka James 2, right? Or the first one? Yeah. So
okay.
It was a Waka project, and I had the record "Hard in the Paint," and we did the countdown background. That was the first time on the internet that anybody ever did the countdown background for a project or a release or any sort of anticipation, and we shut down the internet.
It was a game changer at that time.
Game changer for sure. You can download it. It was right to the phone. You had, to this day, you have artists going to the platform and consumers going to the platform, right? Anywhere else, you have the consumer, maybe like Apple and Spotify, but from the artist standpoint, it really did its work.
Yeah. All right, so we had to bring on Hoodrich Rip and Hoodrich Keem, to get part of this conversation, man. So guys, just talk about how you guys got introduced to Live Mixtapes at first.
Shit, that's a funny story, kind of, man. I think I want to say the first person to tell me about Live Mixtapes was J Money.
First name, last name?
First name, last name.
Okay.
J Money, the first one to show me Live Mixtapes. I want to say we in the studio, and he telling me, I don't know if they were reaching out to him on their own, but I just remember him showing it to me, like, I've been talking to these guys, and he's showing me the site, and I'm just like, at the time, we selling mixtapes. So, I'm not so much enthusiastic.
Like, where's the money at? Where do we make money off this way?
I'm not so enthusiastic initially even about the idea of it, because I'm just trying to understand, how does this financially translate? But that definitely was the start, He showed me, showed Spins, I remember us putting out some Space Invaders.
Man, them Space Invaders, those are classic mixtapes right there, man.
Yeah.
It introduced like a whole new sound. you know, the sound that was popping in Atlanta, but the rest of the world wasn't on to at
Yeah,
that time.
man. Nah, real influential. Hell yeah, man. But that was the beginning, yeah. So shout out J Money, man. First name, last name. That's the first person to show me live mixtapes, man.
Okay.
And then from there, you know, we just, you know, we started and we built the relationship, you know.
Yeah.
Formed a partnership and shit took off from there.
And what about you, Keem? How'd you get introduced? Was it through Rip or?
No. What was it? I was really just probably just surfing the internet, just finding shit. I was a kid, so
Okay.
I don't know. I just got my hands on it though. I just dropped some every day for like 2 weeks straight. So it was just a platform. I'm just like, I can do my thing. So I just really took over from that, you know?
Yeah. It's
It
partly
wasn't
how we
no
found you.
introduction. Or if it was, it probably was Doughboy.
Okay, that's
FPG
right.
Doughboy.
Shout out Joe.
Yeah, because he was from Cleveland, so he was tapped in with them.
Yeah, like probably Doughboy if anything. But yeah, I was a kid.
Okay, so you was up on it.
Yeah, I was a kid.
And as a DJ, how important was that for you, you know, to be able to have access to where you guys could upload your own tapes to the world like that?
Like I said, I did a tape every day for like 2-3 weeks. So it was just, you know, that's, you know what to do when you get something. Just take advantage. It was just a tool that I felt, you know, nobody else had, so I can do it right now. That was just my introduction to it.
And Rip, how does this Rich Forever tape with Ross come about? Because at this time, Ross is signed, right? He's on a major label. So
Yeah,
why
man.
does Ross need to drop a mixtape?
Well, I mean, why? Because we had, you know, with the DJs like, you know, Scream, Keem, Spins, and Live Mixtapes, we had built such a platform that, you know, like I just, you know, it's one of them things, like, I just remember at the time, like, you can go get World Star, big screen, and then it was, you know, just part of your project that, okay, like you got your marketing budget, it's gonna be part of your project, it's gonna get World Star big screen and go get Live Mixtapes Takeover, you know, let's get the countdown. Can we get it for a week? You know what I mean? And this is before, you know, these other DSPs, before they existed. So it's like this, you know, this was the plan, you know what I mean? Somebody come to me, they got a project, a strong project they want to put out the right way. You know, these are the tools at my hands to actually reach large audiences, you know, Live Mixtapes, you know, and a couple others. So, I mean, the Ross Rich Forever tape, the reason he had to do one is because that's where the audience was, you know what I mean? It's, you know, on the site. With Scream, obviously Scream was made by music, you know what I mean? So that was only right. And, you know, we had such a relationship with Live Mixtapes that, you know, that's gonna be the platform that we put it out on. It's gonna be on Live. So, and that tape was crazy, made MTV, you know, did, you know, I guess viral was the term, you know what I mean?
It might have been his biggest mixtape,
Yeah,
right?
man.
Oh,
I think it was his
absolutely,
best
yeah.
project.
Yeah, no, Rich Forever was serious business, you know what I mean? And the only place to get it
Was Live Mixtapes, yeah.
Mixtapes, yeah. That was special. That was special.
And what about the Street Lottery tape with
Street Lottery. Future.
Scooter.
Scooter.
Yeah.
Scooter, shit, man, how them come about? It's like, you know, we got such a good relationship with Scooter. You know what I mean? We built, you know, he built his whole career in the mixtapes, you know what I mean? So, you know, Live Mixtapes, you know, had that platform, you know what I mean? You want to get that countdown, you know, run them numbers up. Future, excuse me. I say they names like that, bro, because I work with them so closely. But Scooter, all his projects did good on Live.
Oh,
you know what I
absolutely.
mean? So we did a couple. I mean, we named Street Lottery, but we did a couple. I got one that ain't up there.
Coming soon?
Now, Pesh, you would have some tapes in that
Yeah.
coming soon section that still haven't came out.
It was funny. I wanted to say something with that. With you on the spins, I think it was the Space Invader series.
Yeah.
You had, I had seen you, I think, after Tomorrowworld. I came down here for an EDM festival.
Okay.
And then after that, I linked up with you, and you were like, look, man, I got this record for you to check out. It's fire. I went downstairs. We were at the Marriott in downtown, and I remember he pulled up and he played this record, Stoner, by Thug.
Okay.
And it was produced by, I think, Done Deal.
Done deal.
Hoodrich, right, at that time, or still is. And I just was listening. I'm like, this is fire. This is the fucking shit. And I just remember, and then that came out. We dropped it on the, I think we leaked it on the Space Invaders tape, and that's how
That's
we
right.
broke that. We broke that single
right.
on the platform.
Oh,
That's
wow.
right. That's right. First time it was heard. Yeah.
That's
right.
wild.
That's right.
Dirty Sprite goes on Live Mixtapes first, right? Talk about, you know, how shifting the culture, one could say, with this tape, man.
Man, like, good thing about that is because, like, by then, like, Future had already dropped, like, I want to say 1,000 and No Mercy. Okay, so he already, like, had things rumbling, you know what I mean? So, like, when Dirty Sprite, you know, by that time, like, Scream ain't rumbling crazy. I think we probably introduced, like, X-Rated and Esco on that tape, but that was, like real heavy. Future just was gone, and that tape just shifted culture. You know what I mean? If you know, if you a sipper, you know, you in the slurred words, then you know the prices changed after that. You know what I mean? After the Dirty Sprite came out, the prices rose.
Big facts.
Yeah, big cultural shift. You know what I mean? Put out on Live Mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? They supported us the whole way with it. Like I said, he already had 2 projects with them, so they was already ready. You know, to support it. You know. Amplified, and y'all know where that went after that. You know
The Pluto.
Straight up, literally. You know what I mean? Literally.
And Pesh, I know Future has always gave a lot of love to Live Mixtapes, man. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot, man. That's pro right there. You know, I think this is my personal opinion. Pluto's the GOAT. You know, I think what he's done for the culture. I think what he's done for the music industry in general, fashion, just all about it, and then our platform. I mean, you know, he stayed true with us when he didn't have to, and he put out great music for us when our platform we didn't have to support, right? And he came through. He always lived up to it. Him and Daniel always talk. 2 wizards, right? I call Daniel the wizard, and you know Pluto's a wizard too. So it was funny how they always connected, but it was just special, and it still is special. What we got coming out again, May 1st.
Oh yeah.
You know, to be continued.
And Rip, the last tape I want to ask you about is the Trap God.
Gucci.
Hold on, which one that was?
Man, we put out, that's the thing, bro. We put out a lot of projects with Live Mixtapes and Gucci, man. Put out a lot of projects with Scooter and Gucci, and Live Mixtapes. A lot of projects with Future and Live Mixtapes. Trap God, I remember, we got the beater and the
The cover of the album.
Yeah,
it
it
looked
got
like a
the
painting.
That
I
was
think,
remember
yeah.
that longest spot.
We
had
did.
on the all white.
That was at the Brick Factory, or that was at the
No, it
lobby?
was at the lobby.
Gucci was at the lobby.
Yeah.
Damn. Gucci was at the lobby. If y'all know, you know what I mean, you gotta be a local to know. You know what I mean? But Gucci pulled up to the lobby. That was a rare, you know what I mean? Yeah, he pulled up to the lobby, and that's when we got the music for Trap God.
Okay.
Literally handed to us at the trap. You know what I mean? At the trap, literally. But that was just a rinse and repeat, man. You know, by that time, like, it was the only way, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like the same way somebody, and I don't know what it's, you know, fit in their story, but to me, the same way folks want to go, you want to go to iTunes, you want to go, you know, go see what's new. Like this was the way. This was the way. This was the only way. So, like he wanted, when Gucci dropping the project and he been promoting it for the last, you know, month and a half, or, you know, knowing Gucci could have been a day.
As
You
much
know what I'm
as he's
saying?
dropping. Yeah.
2 days, whatever the case, you know, that's where it was gonna be promoted at. That was gonna be the launch pad. That was gonna be the go-to place to get it, to listen to it, download it, to see the video when it dropped. You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, that was just another time that, you know what I mean, we made magic together. You know what I'm saying? Created mixtape history together.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we can't talk about the lobby without talking about the lobby runners.
True.
And another culture shift, because this introduced a whole nother sound to Atlanta.
Yeah.
So Keem, just talk about putting together this lobby runners tape.
Shit. That really, I really just took the hard drive and just went home.
Just
I
took
really
the hard drive.
Yeah, just take the hard drive, go home, and just pick out my own little favorites that I be riding to. Normally every tape would be like stuff I'm already tired of listening to, I put it out. So it's like, it was a situation like that. Like, these my favorite ones. But Lobby Runners, I had more help from Rich the Kid too though.
Okay.
And Victorious and Bands. They did a lot on that.
Okay.
So
Shout out DJ Victorious, DJ Bands.
that's really, I'm gonna give a lot of that credit probably to them. Rich the Kid. Rich was one of the major parts in that though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just alley hooping and putting it together, getting everything. It just was a collaborative project, just everybody playing their part. Just doing stuff though. They didn't have no expectations of us doing it, you know? It's just having fun.
Yeah.
That's basically how it all went. Just having fun.
This shit's classic. Here we are, what, 10 years
I
later,
was
still
just
talking
listening
about
to
this.
it the other day.
For real? Yeah.
It's a classic for sure.
That's funny you're saying that. Rich the Kid helped put that together because I mean, we know the amount of how Rich the Kid would move back in the day to get something. So him getting that record, that makes a lot of sense now. I didn't know that.
I ain't gonna lie, a lot of them tapes caused a lot of commotion back though. Like not to the public, so it's like niggas put their life online just to put them little songs out because everybody didn't have the same understanding. So it's like now everybody understand what we doing it for. But then it was just like, damn, we leaking my songs, but everybody see the bigger picture because that's how bills got paid. So, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of, it creates that first buzz for those singles though.
It did. It did something for a lot of people. That was fun. It started a lot.
It was the method. It was the way.
Yeah, it started something.
And the 21 Savage tape, Slaughter tape.
That tape's so funny. Yeah, I did that before a flight. I did that in like 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
I ain't really
Classic.
even listened to it. I said the wrong thing on the intro. I didn't know that till Lil Harold told me like last year. He was like, you know, you said the wrong thing on the intro, but it still came out hard. That's hard. But yeah, that started some shit. But yeah, that was just, again, having fun. That's the homie that put it together. 30 minutes, 20 minutes, I got a flight, gotta go. But it wasn't like no rush, but it was just like, I gotta go. So it's just like I had to do it. But that shit changed some shit. I fuck with that.
Came out good, big results.
I fuck with
No,
that.
that broke 21 right there.
big results.
Because I know me and you talked about it during your interview, Keem. It was like, I never heard of 21 Savage at that time.
Nah, it was always my homie though.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that was a fan.
he wasn't rapping, like, so it's like when he say rapping, it's like,
Yeah, that's how it was, bro. I had known him
kind
since
of
he was young.
throw you
so
off.
It's like,
I know him through Rip, so it's like,
yeah.
I'm seeing you every day, it's cool, but I'm not knowing you rapping. So it's like, I don't, you know how this go, man. So it really shocked me. Then he had the crazy videos. Everything just made sense right out the gate. So it's just to watch the growth and everything, how it went, that shit fire. Yeah, it's,
Yeah, a lot of artists got their start on live mixtapes, man.
I'm grateful, man.
A lot.
I'm grateful, man. I'm truly grateful. It's a God's blessing. It's also interesting to what you guys are talking about. You know, the main ingredients in there was the communication with the DJs. You know, Keem having the vision, Rip having the vision, whoever it was, but there was always some sort of focus behind it. Slaughter Gang, you know, they had the drive. There's always good leadership there. Meezy's running a good shop over there as far as management and everything. And so I think that's important, along with having that DJ presence, and you have that over there with those guys. So it's real, you know, it's real good.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing for us again.
Yeah, no, that's heavy, like that relationship. I say that, like we don't communicate with like an Apple the same way as you would directly how we talk, you know, how we deal with live, you know what I mean? It's just, it's a different type of relationship, you know what I mean? But I do value that though.
That's kind of like what we push, man. Like that's what it was we never talked to the labels. Like the labels
Probably hated
still
you,
don't.
right?
They still hate
They
us.
probably
They
hated
ain't
you
talking to
guys.
us. They ain't talking to us. Nobody has come and, you know, messed with us. In fact, going back to Pluto, the label would tell Pluto not to drop with us, right?
Stop dropping
But
mixtapes.
Pluto knows the impact, and we got the streets. We still have the streets. these DSPs will never have the streets. They can't. They have corporate sponsors. You know what I mean? How are you going to go to AT&T and talk about the hood rapper 21 Savage when nobody knows who 21 Savage is except for Keem? Nobody's going to listen to that story. But that story is repeating itself consistently. And there's other artists out there that don't. They might have a Hoodrich Keem in their corner, but that, you know, there was that void for the longest time. And again, May 1st, we're back.
Yeah. All right, so Pesh, LMT Pro, about to launch here on May 1st, man. So first off, for people in the dark, man, break this down. What is LMT Pro?
Yeah, so May 1st and just moving forward, first off, you're going to see the rebrand on LiveMixtapes, on the platform, the app, colors, everything's just going to be a complete uplift under the hood. But LMT Pro is going to be the distribution arm for our platform now. So March of 2021, we pivoted from being a mixtape platform to the first ever streaming and distribution platform. So now we can take your content, it'll drop on our platform, and then it'll turn around and also drop on all the DSPs. The cool thing is, Daniel built out the back end, LMT Pro. So now you can log in as an artist, producer, DJ, whatever. If you've got content you're trying to drop, it makes sense for our platform. You can log in, upload your content, pick the release date on LiveMixtapes, tap in with the DJ, get a DJ to host your project, and then you can also pick the release date for the DSPs. So the whole thing I'm saying is you're in control of everything.
Okay.
Some of the highlights, we're going to pay you out the highest in the industry. So it's going to drop on our platform, LiveMixtapes, and it'll still go on all the DSPs, Apple, Spotify. You'll get paid out from all them the same way as they do with their normal payout rates, whatever it is, Apple 1 cent, however it works out, right? LiveMixtapes, we're going to pay you out the highest. It's non-exclusive, so we're working project per project. Highest payouts, real-time stats and analytics, and we're actually going to pay you out every 30 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's big right there.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's real huge. Right now, where the game is just you have the top 1% right now doing really well as far as streaming goes, right? So you have all these independent artists, and I think that's what the backbone of LiveMixtapes is like, yeah, we spoke about Pluto and Savage and, you know, these successful artists that we were blessed to be able to work with on our platform, but it all started on our indie side, where they came from our indie side, we worked the tape, moved the tape over to the main page, and then they were quote unquote main page artists or known artists, right? So we got a lot of feedback on it, like why I'm not main page or whatever. But you fast forward, Spotify, Apple, these DSPs came out, they said, don't go to LiveMixtapes, they won't pay you out on streams. But what they didn't say was, we won't help you build a foundation or a campaign. So right now, every artist in the world, and also back in 2006, I believe Nas was making a record, Hip Hop is Dead, right? You fast forward to 2009, we shut down the internet with Waka. So you fast forward to today where we are, and you have these DSPs saying all that stuff, don't go to LiveMixtapes, they're not helping you out, they're not paying you, whatever. You fast forward, now rap music is the #1 streaming genre in the world. It's also the most saturated genre in the world. And every artist, every producer, everybody is using the same means for marketing. So what is that? Your social media, your Instagram. Everyone's gonna try to be like Future, right? So what does Future do? What does Pluto? Pluto deletes everybody off his, whoever he's following, all the posts are gone, and then it's like, oh shit, it's album time, right? So everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna do the same thing. Or, you know, 50 comments or 5,000 comments and swipe up, I'm gonna drop a music. Everybody's got the same hustle. And you're seeing it right now in the music game where there isn't really campaigns being built. There are artists and there are teams trying to build this campaign, but it's really hard because when you drop on the DSPs, as everybody is doing so, your shelf life, if you're a major artist, your shelf life is about 8 to 10 days max. So Pluto, Savage, any of those guys, when they're dropping, yeah, they're getting the red carpet and everything else, but it drops on Friday. So tomorrow when it drops, cool, you're gonna hear about it all weekend, but then next week, you got a whole bunch of new music coming out. So they can't really sit there and highlight the specific project and push the entire project. Now you might go on the DSPs and see 21 Savage and Drake, Rich Flex or something like that, and they'll use the artwork or whatever, but you're not seeing the full project. Again, it's not being worked. So that's the top 1%. So what about these indie kids? These kids that is just me, my 100 followers on Instagram and Twitter, and I'm dropping a project. Those kids, if they're lucky and if they can tap into the algorithms of the DSPs, you're gonna get maybe 24 to 72 hours of a look on the platforms, right? Other than that, nobody's searching your music. Those DSPs are an end game. So I don't care what you use to get your music to the platforms of Spotify, Apple, and everything, but it's just a vehicle, right? So if you sign to a major label, it might be a better looking car, right? They might put you in a nice car, but they're still gonna tell you, out now, go to Spotify, go to Apple, go to YouTube, stream, right? You can use one of these smaller distributors. There's massive amount of companies out there, and you can take one of them, and they might not give you as much money. You might not be in a deal, whatever it is, but the end game is still the same thing. Make sure you say out now, Spotify, Apple, because that's how they all make their money. They got to rely on those platforms. Well, iTunes has been around forever, right? So nothing's changed. So when we were dropping these projects, and when we have been dropping these projects, let's say Pluto. When Pluto was dropping, he was saying go to LiveMixtapes out now, because it was better to have 1 million views on LiveMixtapes than have 500 views on Spotify, another 500 on Apple, and it's just spread out. Where we're actually pushing you traffic. So you as an artist, when you use our services, we have built-in traffic. We already have millions of downloads in the App Store, in both marketplaces, Android and iOS. So when they're coming to our platform, they're looking for the rap music, the rapper, the comic that's gonna drop a comedy tape, the producer that's gonna drop the beat tape, the DJ Keem that's gonna drop the next Lobby Runners, and it's gonna be artists that he's rocking with. So the future's very bright. I'm really excited, and we changed the game again, man.
Yeah. So May 1st, it's going to be on all Android and.
Yeah, so I think the Android's going to come out a couple weeks later.
Okay.
Again, I don't know too much about the back end of it, how it works, but Android's going to come out a couple weeks later, May 1st. iOS on the iPhones, it's going to be up and running. You can log in. Like I said, for distribution, if there's any discrepancies or if you have any issues, challenges, you can always get at us. We're gonna make it happen. And at Pesh22, at LiveMixtapes, let me know. I'm gonna help you out. We did this, we've piloted this for the last year though. So we actually did this in March of 2021. We did the soft launch of LMT Pro. And we distributed about 200 projects. Okay. And out of those 200 projects, about 10 had successful campaigns, did really well. People started taking notice. The other 190, they made more money using our platform and our services than using any other distribution company. And again, because we're our own platform and we're paying out. And not only are we paying out, we're paying out the highest.
Yeah.
So. And
like you said, I think one of the big advantages is that they can actually talk to a real human with this shit too.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just uploading. This is what we do, ever since 2006, I think the goal has just always been to just push the music culture forward. And I think we're doing that. You're gonna see podcasts on the app. We're gonna be carrying podcasts, like I said, comedy tapes. There's so many comics out there. Comics, if you're out there, get at me. We're trying to drop, your stand-up special. We can do it on the mixtape, hosted by Keem, or one of these DJs, Cannon Bannon, whoever it is, right? Steel. It doesn't matter. We have the platform. We're going to be able to push this traffic towards your content and have it make sense. And the best part is, if it's not good, you're going to see it in the comment section. So, you know.
So the comment section's still going to be there.
Oh, the comment section's
Okay.
about to be booming.
Because that thing used to make or break an artist right there, man.
It is. I mean, how we're doing it now, it's actually going to be its own chat. So
Oh, really?
think of
Okay.
like chat rooms and stuff like that, like almost like a Discord, but on the app for rap music, for that specific purpose.
Yeah.
So
No, that's hard right there.
it's gonna be sweet, man.
So what's some of the goals for the app, whether it's short term or long term?
Goals? We're gonna just continue to grow. So I think as far as the app goes, you know, there's technology. There's so much technology out right now, and we're doing everything ourselves. And you know, we're a tech company in the aspect of Daniel and his brain and the team that he has. We're just gonna consistently be innovating. So right now we're doing, you know, highest payouts and 30 days. We're talking to touring partners. With you guys, you know, this year, I think in 2023, we want to do the whole About That Life again.
Okay.
So I think we're going to try to incorporate some sort of touring on the back end, you know, with companies. And I think we're going to highlight this tour, this About That Life tour, and take it city to city and maybe have it stop in South by of 2023, which would be our 10-year anniversary of our first live mixtapes and Dirty Glove Bastards About That Life tour.
Yeah.
Show, should I say, but event.
No, that'd be major right there, man.
Yeah, it'd be sweet.
Yeah.
It'd be real sweet.
All right, Pesh, anything else you want to add? Any shout outs before we wrap it up here, man?
Just, I want to just, you know, shout out everybody as far as just the game, the culture, Hoodrich, everybody that, you know, came today, Keem, Rip, appreciate y'all. But just most importantly, just this opportunity. We're just grateful. We're going to continue to be working. There's a lot of people that wrote us off. We didn't forget, you know, we just worked harder. And in the finish line, we're all going to be there. So, you know, I think that's the biggest thing right now where the game is. I think if we just try to work together and push this culture forward, it can win. Again, 17 years ago, Nas was saying hip hop is dead. It's not going anywhere now. You know what I mean? And so you just got to figure out how that niche is going to be broken. I think that communication, relationships, that's what made us as a platform, and that's what we're going to pat our back on us as far as maintaining these relationships and building new ones.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right, cool.
appreciate it, man. Thank you.
No problem, man.
Let's do it.
New DRs on my feet. Could've paid the rent, but I was spending on these sneaks. I've been tripping, taking flights. Niggas tripping over freaks. I done lied